Probably from the sound of it, it sounds a little wet. And you'd be right. And guess what? That's not Kool-Aid, okay? So you guys remember when we took the 65 to the track, we drained the coolant, you know, and that way we're not that guy who, if something happens, we would just spill water, easy cleanup, evaporate, and all that good stuff. Well, it's about to freeze over here in Texas. And no, this is not Kool-Aid. It is some coolant, the concentrated kind. So we take distilled water. That's very important. You take distilled water, and basically one of these was empty, so I put half the water into that one. And then now I have 2 gallons of pre-mixed coolant, orange coolant to be precise, and that's the coolant that we run in the Mustang. So funny enough, that's also the coolant that's in this car too. So orange coolant, if you guys were curious. Now, don't mix the different colors, but orange works. So right now I'm draining the radiator, and then I'm gonna top it off with one of these guys. We're gonna run the Mustang for a while, let it get up the temp, let it open up the thermostat, get all the other old juices out of it, and then basically we'll have, you know, done back a swap for the concentrate. Probably could have taken just concentrate, poured it in, being that's all water. Just drain out some water and replace the drained water with coolant, but that might not be precise with the mixture. So this is the reason, the method of how I plan to add coolant back to my car with a decent mixture that isn't going to be lopsided. That's going to be enough coolant, or maybe not, you know, not too much, not too little, all that good stuff. The drain pan gets used for everything, so don't be alarmed. There's probably ATF in there. Yeah, science. I love this. I love this little funnel thing for the coolant. The little cap. Flip that guy right there. A little bit of pressure. Make sure you pop that so it'll fill in. Forbidden Kool-Aid. Another one. Alright, so cooling fan's on, which means we've gotten up to a coolant temp of about 195 or hotter, but it's still running. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pump of the engine to help circulate some nice fresh coolant throughout while we put a slow trickle on the coolant. Slow trickle, because that way it'll get stuff that was saved up in the engine, the that didn't get drained from the initial coolant flush out of the radiator. And we'll just have everything circulated out. It looks like it's got a little bit of a pink tint, which means that's the red line water wetter. Alright, looks like we got no air bubbles. We can go ahead and stop our little purging drain that we had going down there. So I think it's time to shut this thing down. Yeah. 205 is not bad. With a big old car cover all over it and sitting there with no airflow, that's not too shabby. So of course all that's left is basically to kill the car and go ahead and take the fill funnel for the coolant off, put the radiator cap on, and let the car just cool down. There's no more air bubbles, so that's pretty good. There's no air in the system, which before there kind of wasn't really, and I never drained it fast enough to like add air bubbles to it. But we were sitting there idling for quite a while. I will kind of go with normal procedure of after kind of burping that car, whenever the weather clears up, go ahead, take the car for a nice drive, put a good solid load onto the motor so that it's going to really recirculate everything and get things moving quickly. That usually gets out any air bubbles there. And probably just the next morning, or when the next time the car cools down, you pop the cap. When it sucks down air, you just go take a little bit of distilled water or your coolant mixture just to top it off. Usually it doesn't even require like a cupful. So we got the water out of the car and the water wetter out of the car that we had from the track day because we had that freeze. So we will not be breaking any blocks during freezing weather that's on the way. As you saw, it was raining, so I had to close the door. It's nice good solid cold front that's coming through. It's going to hit everybody. Anyways, hit a like down below, comment your thoughts. Should we have used orange? Should we have used green? I think they make pink now. I kind of like the idea. Maybe we should go with pink. But anyways, comment down below your thoughts on the coolant swap or any other stuff like that. And if it's your first time here, why don't you think about subscribing, because we will be posting more information and how to live with a race car, how to maintain a race car before we go to the track, while we're at the track, and after the track, like this moment right here. So thank you for watching. Talk to you guys later.